What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel for a live post Champions League game as usual. It's not going to be a very long one, but a lot of things are happening or have happened in the last couple of hours. So I want to go over that as well. And also maybe a little look ahead to the Sevilla game on Thursday, which might or might not be uh, relevant at this point, because because of the news basically. But before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as well. And yeah, let's go. Actually, I think everybody saw the news about the points deduction, or like the potential points deduction that is incoming again. At the end of the season, basically, or almost the end of the season. The funny thing happened today was one. I think Romeo. I don't know which channel he was on, but he started off. I saw the clip. And it was funny because he started off with, "I have a theory," and it looked like he had some kind of breaking news, or whatever. I thought he had a good tease, basically, or he knew something we didn't know, and whatever. And then Romeo Greci said, "My theory is that they are just gonna deduct enough points towards the end of the season to keep us out of Europe." And when I saw that, I laughed because it was his theory, but it's actually a fact we have known about for, some might say, 4 months, but at least a good month and a half. We know that is going into this direction. They're going to deduct as many points as needed. If we finish, let's say we finish at 10 points above the team sitting in fifth place, they will deduct 11 points. They will, or they will deduct 10 points, and based on head-to-head matchup, that might do the trick as well. But they will, if we are sitting 7 points or 12 points above the team sitting in fifth, we will get deducted 12 points. That's how it's going to work. So it's not a theory. They made that abundantly clear. They made that clear when they started with all this. They made that clear a good month ago when they said you're going to get those points back for now, and then we will see. So it's all clear. That's why after every match reaction, I said, preview, I said it's an important game. If you believe that we can get top four via the league again, then it's important. It's an important game. It's a must-win game, like the Atalanta one, or like the Milan one that will come on in a couple of weeks. But you can just say it's done. We are playing like the Serie A games. The 4 remaining Serie A games are completely pointless because you're playing for absolutely nothing. That's the title of the show. You're playing for nothing in the league. So how do you even go into these games? At this point, I really feel bad for Allegri because how are you going to prepare these games? How are you going to tell the guys again, it's done? The next 4 games you're just playing for absolutely nothing. But stay focused on the Europa League because that still could be a thing. Who knows? But the league is done, So we're going into the games. We're going into... Who do we play on Sunday? I even forgot. Do we play Cremonese at home? Probably. I think it's Cremonese at home. We're going into the game with nothing to play for, because Alcon spoke today and he just said the same things, nothing special, nothing sharp, very polite, we will respect every investigation or whatever, every authority looking into us, blah, 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 the standard usual thing. So it's actually kind of pointless to go into these games with, as a fan, going into these games with any expectations, because I think it's clear what the club will accept. The news about plea bargains and all those things kind of suggests, in my opinion, that the club will settle with certain things. You might say, why haven't they settled weeks ago? Because you still need to think about it. But it's done. Serie A, the last 4 games are are just useless. Now, I suggested if you want to, because this league is in shambles. You get the points away, you get them back, you get them taken away, probably just before the Milan game or after the game. So before the last two games or the last game, which is ridiculous at this point, because that's what's gonna happen. Just play the under 23s and pick up some random players out of Primavera and let them play. And the league will suggest and teams will suggest this is not fair because you're playing teams in relegation sides, you're playing Milan fighting for Europe, but the club shouldn't care. If that's what they're gonna do, just play some kids, play some under 23 players, and let's see what they can do, because we're playing for absolutely nothing. Like, we're just playing for nothing. Going to, I don't even know how to do a preview for the Cremonese game, because it's not a must-win game. Like, it's a game. If we lose, should I care? Probably not. Because we're playing for absolutely nothing. They're gonna deduct points as much as needed to get us out of Europe. Maybe not the Conference League, but I hope they do, because I don't want to be stuck in the Conference League next season, because that's ridiculous. But going to the Cremonese game, going to the Bologna Empoli game, going to the Milan game, going to the Udinese game is for nothing at this point. I was still, with all these things happening and coming out, the club still has put out no statement. And the fans are there to take the heat. Allegri will take the heat on Wednesday. He will, because those are the questions he will get before the semifinal in Europe. And it's weird. It's just weird, but it is what it is, I guess. Now, the second part is, because that was a thing, go appeal it to the TAR. Now, there are two options. One, you take the punishment and then you go to the TAR, but that is not to undo the punishment. That's to get damage, money. You can get money out of it. That's it. Now, according to a lawyer who is specialized in sports, I forgot his name now, but you can go on Tuttosport. He writes for them, or he has pieces for them as well. He said you can go to the TAR now before the appeal is done, because if you're gonna appeal again and try to take it to CONI, there's no appeal. They will say no. They made that clear now. But apparently you can go to the TAR now before a new punishment comes out, and they can still say this is not legit, stop this, whatever. But the club will not do that. That's not how the club operates. I think Alkan made that very, very clear today by saying we respect all this, we respect all that, blah blah blah, all these things. So I think, I don't want to say make peace with not getting into Europe, but what else are you going to do? They messed up. They cannot beat this. If it's 72 pages, I did not read 72 pages. If anyone does, good for you. I just scrolled through it and I saw some hilarious things in the first few pages. At one point, they were accusing Arrivabene from things he couldn't have done because he was, leading Team Ferrari back then. He was not even at the club. That's what's actually in those pieces of papers, or whatever you want to call it. It's ridiculous, And again, I'll repeat it. They're getting punished based on no rule. There is no rule. The funny thing is, if there is a punishment, these deals have been done with multiple clubs, Italian clubs. They're all walking free away with it. So things are just not adding up. But again, if you read things about you can get a plea deal. If you ask the UEFA, they will say, you know what, we back down, pay a fine, blah blah blah, all those things. That's not the story. The story is, tell the UEFA you step away from the Europa League, Super League, take that out. UEFA will pump their chest again and say, you know what, we will just back down from this and let the Italian Federation do their thing, and whatever. You win the Europa League, you get into the Champions League. But according to Tuttosport, the club has not put out an official line. They did not make a statement, not even unofficially, saying this is our stance. But it's out since yesterday, I think, or since Monday. I'm not sure anymore, or since Monday. So it's been out there, and the club has still put out no statement. So it's just again reading stuff from newspapers, reading stuff from um, quote unquote in the known people and all those things. But other than that, the club is again very anonymous. John Elkan speaks about these things in places where you shouldn't be speaking about. Like you should put official statements. I don't get it. Like with all things happening, the fans have no clue what's gonna happen, and the club is just quiet. They're not putting out anything. It's ridiculous. Like fans in this club has been completely pushed to the side. Take for example Thursday. As of now, as we speak now, the stadium is not sold out. There are still a lot of seats available, and the ticket prices are between 210 and 270. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like the club is so not in connection with the fans. It's completely lost the connection with the fans completely, and you can see it on the pitch, off the pitch. Off the pitch, what I mean, without, damn, with what I mean about off the pitch is communications with the fans, because we don't know. Like again, Ferrero, Scanavino, they talked in the first 2 weeks and then quiet. It's Calvo on repeat pre-game, and It's Allegri trying to answer questions he shouldn't be answering. And he probably has no answer for. So it's ridiculous. But that's the situation. Now, I'll say something that might sound strange. If we don't play Champions League next season, I don't really care, because this team is not good enough to do anything. What I do care about is the money we will miss out and the players we will not get to reinforce the team. That's the biggest issue. If the club comes out and they say, no Champions League, no problem, we have the cash, I'm okay with it. And I'm not okay with it. I will accept what's happening, but I can live with whatever. We can still bolster this team up because it needs work. This team needs a lot of work. That's my biggest issue. The money we're not getting. I saw an opinion today saying that maybe this is a hard reset, or like a hard reset. Juntali coming in, bringing his scout, the club going for Del Piero, all those things. Maybe they say, it's a new start again, by the way. Like, again, we did it with Sardi. Nah. We did it with Pirlo. No. We brought in Arriva Bene, all those guys. New Allegri didn't work. Now this. But maybe this is a hard reset, because you might ask, why would Juntali come in, when the club is in this shambolic state? Some might suggest the club knows that they're not going to go into Europe this season, but the money will be there, and they told Juntali this is what it is. Because if you're Juntali, why would you leave Napoli to go and step into this? No Europe, very little cash. I know there was very little cash at Napoli, but if we're being honest, the Napoli situation on the field and even off the field, like actually sporting wise, not infrastructure and all those things, is a better situation as of now. So I don't know what that's all about. We're still getting linked with players when everybody knows what's going to happen. So who knows? But the biggest issue is the money. That's actually the biggest issue. The money we will lose out. That's what I'm scared about, because when I see the squad, even against Atalanta, they play well, but like I saw that backline, like technical ability to play at a higher level, to compete at a higher level consistently, it's not there. You can have it 1 or 2 games, but consistency, the quality is not good enough to be consistent and probably compete with Napoli next season, or Inter, or whatever. That's what I believe. So that's my biggest fear: the money that will not be there. Not really not being in the Champions League. I want to be in there, play European nights. But if it's not Champions League, I don't really care about Europa League or the Conference League next season. It will just take focus away from things we don't need. We need to focus on the league next season. We do. But yeah, that's the situation. Again, going into the Serie A games, no idea what type of preview I need to do. No idea what type of post game I need to do, because if we lose, yeah, you can say it's bad, with an eye on next season, because it's still no improvement. But for the table, it makes no sense. We're just gonna get punished, and it's done. It's completely done. This is all in my opinion, this has very little to do with football. It's all politics, Gravina going in to be the vice president of the Champions League for his terrible work he has done in Italy, which is hilarious. The news coming out that, if you ask UEFA, you can get a plea deal. It says if you step away from the Super League, you will get away with stuff. That's what they're saying, basically. All these things leaking and whatever. That Coney taking his time to make a decision, then announcing, hey, it's actually legit. It's all over the place. So, quick recap, basically. They asked 9 points. The judge said, no, 15 points. Another judge said, that's too much, 15 points. And a new judge basically saying, nah, it's still legit. Let's see what we will do. Maybe it will be again 14. Maybe it will be 13. It's all randomness. It's Article 4. It's based on unfair business, basically. Unfair sporting business, whatever. But there's no rule attached to it. It's ridiculous. It's all fluky, and it's basically a witch hunt at this point. But, I'll keep saying it. I said it when the thing came out way back in December, let's say January. I said the club stands look and sound very, very weak, like they accepted what's coming and they're just doing damage limitations by, behind the scenes finding some sort of deal. That's what I'm feeling. That was what I'm feeling, and I stand with it. Excuse me. They're just finding a deal, but is it a good deal? Probably not. Because the fans are just the ones, sitting here and having no clue what's happening, or like having a clue but having no clue why this is happening, basically. Let me read out some chats because I have let me see. Have you seen the comments from VP of CEO from April when this Gravina? No, I did not. Or maybe I missed that. Or maybe I did, but I forgot. Will they go for a plea deal? And what do you think if we should take it? We will not go for the plea deal. Maybe the plea deal in terms of the Serie A wages, but the UEFA, no. The way Alcon speaks is just going to accept whatever is coming. We will have Self Vlahovic and maybe one more key player. Who knows? Could be happening. Who knows? Gaetano saying being a Juve fan in Italy is very difficult. Presidents who offer offend us. Spalletti, who says that people from Southern Italy don't support Juve. TVs. Yeah, but the club is quiet and they will always be. With this ownership, that's how it's going to be. They think they're doing a good job, but they're just leaving fans frustrating. Again, they're really disconnected with the fans. Just look at the stadium. Look at the stadium on Thursday. It's dead. Like, it's not fun. It's empty. It's the situation is just critical, and it's absolutely madness that they think that they're not acting, and they're acting like everything is okay. That's even worse than not acting at all. Yeah, players coming back. Lost twice to Monza. Lost to Maccabi. Titan. Lost. Yeah. That's what it is on the field. The season has been more about things going off the field. I agree. Why wouldn't Juve go to Tar or anything higher up to defend the club? Because it's Juve and it's owned by the Agnellis, Alcons, whatever. Let's say Agnellis. And that's what it is. They made it very clear by saying we respect the authorities, we respect the work they're doing. They're basically saying we're accepting everything. They are not in the business to stir up a pot. They think they actually can fix Italian football with all these dinosaurs in place. Whatever, Agnelli thought that it flopped. So, no idea what the club is doing at this point, But it is what it is. But let's talk about Thursday a little bit, because as of now, you can still get into the Champions League by winning the Europa League, because the news about UEFA doing something is all over the place. If they're going to do something, in a normal case, it's very likely that it will happen for next season. that they will, if they win the Europa League, they will go into the Champions League. If the UEFA will step in, it will probably be for the following season, and will probably not be a ban, but some sort of fine or whatever. All those things, But you never know. With the news that's coming out about plea deals, if Juve ask, I feel they will do something very rash that has never been seen before, and they can still keep us out of it. But as of now, there's no real indications that UEFA can do it in time for the following season. So you can still win the Europa League as of now and go into the Champions League, basically. So Thursday will be the most pressurized game we have played maybe in the last 4 years. Who knows? 3 years. Because you need to win it. You still need to win it. Even if you don't get into Europe, it's a cup. You need to win it. That cup, they cannot take away from you. You still need to win it. But as of now, again, I keep saying it, you can get into the Champions League via the Europa League. So it's a very important game. I was planning to watch Sevilla game this weekend, but I didn't have time. So maybe I'll catch one this week. I've watched the games against Man U, and the goals Man U can see were hilarious, but they put a lot of pressure on you, especially with those fans in that stadium away from home. At home, excuse me. Away from home, I thought they were terrible against Man U, but they find a way to get things done. Now, that game is an all-in. It's an all-in, and I have actually no idea. I'm waiting for Wednesday for the presser, waiting to see what questions Allegri is getting. Maybe based on that, I will have a better feeling on the game. Because again, you need to tell the players in May, in January, 15 points are gone. Then a couple of months ago, you need to tell them the points are back for now. And then basically now you need to tell them we're playing for absolutely nothing. Like, how are the players going to react? If the players come out there and be not disinterested, but like completely out of touch with the moment and the game, semi-final in Europe, I wouldn't really be shocked. I wouldn't, because it's all over the place. But it's a must-win game. Allegri, the modern Juve fan, want to go to the theater. Yeah. Never forgot that statement from Allegri. I agree. Why risk it, though? All this for peanuts. Why didn't we just play a clean game after the country? What the other teams are doing is just irrelevant. Juve being under scope is not something new. I agree, but they're being punished based on no rule. I keep saying it. Like the documents are out there. You can read 72 pages if you want, and the things you read in there, you're like, how? Like, what's the reason of being punished? There is no reason. There isn't a real reason. Juve has no excuse not to win the Europa League against the teams are left. Don't underestimate those teams. Somebody told me, but we were second in the league. We lost 8 games. We're second because Lazio, Inter, and Milan and Roma lost also 9, 10 games, whatever. Everybody is terrible. That's why we were second in the league. Not because we're great. Everybody is terrible. Like, keep that in mind. Like, it's not that we were second, that we were an amazing team. I've watched Sevilla. They're not good at all away from home. We should win 2-0. We should have won 2-0 against Freiburg and Nantes at home, but we didn't. I'll keep saying it before every European home game. Make the difference. At least 2-goal cushion, and we failed to do that. Now Nantes and Freiburg away from home were much easier in the aftermath, but Sevilla is just, even though the league situation is what it is, they're just a better team. They've been there, they've done it. I think they played 3 or 4 semifinals. They won them all because they went on to win the cup 3 or 4 times. I forgot. It might be 4. But it's like Real Madrid. When you watch them over the years, you're like, yeah, they're not gonna do anything. They're done, and somehow they find a way and they win it. So I don't think you can just discredit the teams that are in it. But I do believe you just need to win at home. I do believe that, But yeah, let's see. Let's see what the reaction will be on Thursday. First, I want to see on Wednesday on the presser, especially the player that will sit besides Allegri, and get those reactions, get those questions in and feelings. And then let's see on Thursday how the players will react, But again, that preview will be tomorrow. It's Wednesday tomorrow. I forgot about that. So it'll be tomorrow. So we'll do a preview tomorrow after the Inter Milan game, and see where things will go. See where things will go. Who's it? Juve, the only team being hunted when VP of UEFA mentioned 3 teams, Juve included. Yeah. I don't have an explanation for it. I don't want to come with theories and whatever, but it's all dodgy. You know, the entire thing, 9 points, this points, no real rule. Then he says it's too much. They say no, it's all over the place. The fact that they're gonna announce it at the end of the season or before the Milan game tells you what you need to know. They're gonna deduct as much points as they need to keep us out of Europe. That's and when you see those things, you actually can do 1 + 1 = 2. You know, if you're gonna deduct those points to just keep us out of Europe, they're basically telling you we're punishing you for absolutely nothing with no rule, and we're just guessing at this point. We're gonna get what we want, and we'll just make stuff up the way we go. That's what it is, and the fact that the club is quiet, I just think that's shocking. I think that's absolutely weak from the club, because the fans are out there suffering, and you don't hear a peak from the club. You know, you just nothing. They're quiet, which is absolutely ridiculous. But again, look at the stadium situations last couple of years. Do they really care about the fans? I don't think so. I think they're so disconnected with us that it's all coming to this point where it's, why are we even watching this? Why are we even paying to go or watching these games? Because do they actually care? It doesn't feel like that. What can be done as Juve fans? Nothing really, in my opinion. Alieli made it personal with Sefrin. He did. Hasa saying Romeo Greci just found out now that we're being targeted a lot. Yeah, that was funny. He said, I have a theory. I thought he had like a scoop or like something breaking or something special he thought about, and he just came out with this. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Stop subscribing anything with FIG and Serie A. Yeah, I don't have any subscription, so do my part, I guess. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna wrap it up because I don't want to keep anyone up this late. Thanks for watching, because a lot of people are watching. Like the video, subscribe. I will be back tomorrow with a preview live, same hour, so after the Inter Milan game. There probably will be a daily from Justin, so stay tuned for that. On Thursday, I'm out, but there will be a match reaction probably from Justin. I will do my match reaction on Friday. And on Saturday, there will be a podcast with me and Julian, so you'll probably hear from Julian on Saturday, and then on Sunday, a match reaction. But I don't even know what to say on that match reaction on Sunday. I've actually no idea what to say for that game, but I'll figure something out. Before I go, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, because Julian has 3 fun videos coming out about the under 23 players. So 3 series about the loanies, the under 23s already in the first team, and the under 23s in the Primavera / next gen. He will go over those players, so stay tuned for that. Those videos will drop soon. And yeah, thanks for watching.